First, the top headlines. Mass protests against UPSPA held in Imphal on International Human Rights Day. Several thousands from all communities in the state participate. International Human Rights Day observed in the state. Fifth rounds of talks between Government of India and ZUF held in the national capital today. Manipur authorities destroy 55 acres of poppy plantations in Ukhrul, 5 makeshift huts destroyed. A very good evening. You're watching the Primetime ELITETV English News and I'm your host, Ragina, giving you the news in detail. Thousands of people gathered at Thao Ground in Imphal today to participate in a mass protest against the Armed Forces Special Powers Act UPSPA, marking International Human Rights Day with a call for justice and the repeal of the contentious law. The demonstration was jointly organized by prominent civil society organizations, including the All Manipur United Clubs Organization, Porire Laimarol Mera Paibi Apanba Manipur, Manipuri Students Federation, Center for Human Rights, and All Manipur Women Voluntary Association, AMOVA. Participants, including students and individuals from diverse communities, voiced their anger and frustration over what they term a draconian act that violates fundamental human rights. Protesters carried placards and banners demanding the complete withdrawal of UPSPA from Manipur and other northeastern states, accusing the act of fostering impunity and perpetuating human rights abuses in the region. The rally commenced from Thao Ground, passing through Nagamapal, Imakaitel, Kangla Mamang, Kangla Pat, Minuthong, and culminated at the Kumanlampak Stadium. Speaking to media persons during the rally, AMCO President PH Nando Luwang expressed that on today's occasion of the International Human Rights Day, the rally is being organized as a way of submission of physical memorandum to those deaf ears who have remained silent to the 19 months long crisis in the state. He added that the main purpose of holding today's rally is to voice the resentment of the people against a reimposition of UPSPA and the inaction of the state and central government against the brutal murders and tortures of innocent people by armed Kuki militants in the state. Further, while taking part in today's Rally Film Forum, Manipur's chairman, Laimayum Surjakanta, expressed that there is no meaning of Beti Bachao Beti Parao campaign in the state of Manipur. It is just like an unrealistic film for the state and people of Manipur.
Hawjani lejer mafam basi thamabani Thao Ground haiba mafam dani mafam basi dang asi gasima khoi Manipur da lamdam basi laiba luk manga haibadi amuko pore lemerol amova MSF amadi human right cohort punna khusam naraga silliba asigumlaba khoi miyam gi oba rally asida khoi saruk yanabe damakta lamdam asigi tongan mafam kya dagi Mera Paibi Sata Naharol Club Organization Abadi School Gi Nahasing Kaya Sata Sati Digi even Kogi non Manipuri Simbak Yauna Kogi Manipur da Kogi ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯆꯠꯊꯔꯤꯕ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯒ ꯃꯔꯤ ꯂꯩꯅꯅ ꯊꯝꯖꯤꯜꯂꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯑꯄꯁꯄꯥ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯆꯠꯊꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯤꯍꯥꯠ ꯃꯤꯄꯨꯟ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯥꯌꯣꯛꯇ ꯌꯥꯅꯤꯡꯗꯕ ꯈꯣꯜꯂꯥꯎ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯂꯥꯎꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯃꯨꯠꯊꯠꯄ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ self determination is our birthright armed forces special power and repeal ꯇꯧ ꯇꯦꯔꯣꯔꯤꯁꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯃꯤꯆꯝ ꯍꯥꯠꯄ ꯈꯨꯗꯛꯇ ꯂꯦꯞꯄꯒ ꯍꯥꯠꯄ ꯈꯣꯜꯂꯥꯎ ꯀꯌꯥꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯆꯠꯀꯗꯧꯔꯤꯕ ꯉꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯈꯣꯡꯆꯠ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯊꯥꯡꯃꯩꯕꯟ ꯊꯥꯎꯒ꯭ꯔꯥꯎꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯔꯒ ꯈꯨꯃꯟ ꯇꯝꯅ ꯆꯠꯀꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯄꯨꯡ 9 ꯈꯔ ꯍꯦꯜꯂꯛꯄꯗꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯔꯒ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯀꯌꯥꯗꯒꯤ ꯃꯤ ꯂꯥꯛꯄ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯐꯥꯎ ꯃꯤꯅ ꯈꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯤꯛ ꯆꯤꯛꯅ ꯆꯥꯏꯅ ꯉꯝꯗꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯂꯤ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯃꯄꯨꯡ ꯐꯥꯕ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯄꯨꯟꯕ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯗꯧꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯂꯝꯗꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯊꯣꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁꯦꯟꯇ꯭ꯔꯦꯜ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯔꯝꯕ ꯈꯣꯡꯊꯥꯡ ꯄꯥꯏꯈꯠꯂꯛꯀꯅꯤ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯗꯥꯏꯐꯥꯎ ꯏꯔꯥꯡ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯞ ꯑꯃ ꯂꯥꯛꯀꯗꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯉꯥꯏꯅꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯨꯜꯒꯤ ꯁꯥꯇ꯭ꯔꯁꯤꯡ ꯃꯦꯗꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯐꯁꯤꯡ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯕ ꯑꯣꯔꯒꯅꯥꯏꯖꯦꯁꯟ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛꯅ ꯁꯔꯨꯛ ꯌꯥꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯂꯕ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯄꯨꯟꯕ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯁꯨ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯣꯛ ꯑꯄꯟ ꯑꯁꯣꯟ ꯑꯅꯥꯁꯤꯡ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯛꯄꯗ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯦꯗꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯐꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯝꯕꯨꯂꯦꯟꯁꯁꯤꯡꯁꯨ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯥꯛꯇꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯟꯗꯤꯌꯟ ꯔꯦꯗ ꯀ꯭ꯔꯣꯁ ꯁꯣꯁꯥꯏꯇꯤꯅꯆꯤꯡꯕ ꯑꯇꯣꯞ ꯑꯇꯣꯞꯄ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯦꯗꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯐ ꯑꯔꯥꯝꯕ ꯇꯦꯡꯀꯣꯜꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯦꯝꯕꯨꯂꯦꯟꯁ ꯀꯌꯥꯅꯁꯨ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯝꯕꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯏꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯈꯥꯝꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯌꯥꯎꯔꯛꯄ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯣꯛ ꯑꯄꯟꯁꯤꯡꯕꯨ ꯐꯥꯔꯁ ꯑꯦꯗ ꯄꯤꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯑꯗꯨꯝꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯧꯔꯥꯡꯁꯨ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯎꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯤꯀꯨꯞ ꯈꯔꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯈꯣꯡꯁꯥꯟꯅꯕꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯁꯦꯝ ꯁꯥꯕ ꯄꯨꯝꯅꯃꯛ ꯂꯣꯏꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯈꯣꯡꯁꯥꯜꯂꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯛꯄꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯆꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯃꯥꯏꯀꯩꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯣꯔꯒꯅꯥꯏꯖꯔꯁꯤꯡꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯄꯥꯎꯈꯨꯝ ꯊꯝꯕꯤꯔꯛꯀꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯗꯨ ꯃꯌꯥꯝ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯟꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯇꯥꯟꯖꯥꯗꯨ ꯂꯧꯃꯤꯟꯅꯁꯤ
ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯂꯩꯖꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯐꯝ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯃꯟ ꯂꯝꯄꯥꯛ ꯆꯪꯐꯝ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯒꯣꯂꯥꯏꯗꯨꯗꯅꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯒꯣꯂꯥꯏ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯂꯩꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯐꯥꯎꯕꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯂꯥꯛꯏꯕ ꯃꯤꯑꯣꯏꯁꯤꯡꯁꯤꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯍꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯆꯠꯄꯗ ꯋꯥꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯆꯠꯄꯗ ꯋꯥꯟꯊꯔꯛꯄ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯑꯣꯏ ꯑꯍꯨꯝ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯣꯁꯄꯤꯇꯥꯜ ꯄꯨꯈꯤꯕꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯡꯗꯨ ꯇꯥꯔꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯇꯠ ꯑꯀꯝ ꯂꯩꯇꯅ ꯂꯣꯏꯕ ꯅꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯂꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯎꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯈꯣꯜꯂꯥꯎ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯂꯧꯔꯒ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯁꯛꯇꯝ ꯀꯥꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯔꯩꯕꯥꯛ ꯏꯔꯝꯗꯝ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯉꯥꯛꯆꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯇꯦꯔꯣꯔꯤꯁꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯃꯤꯆꯝ ꯍꯥꯠꯄ ꯌꯥꯔꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯈꯣꯜꯂꯥꯎ ꯀꯌꯥꯒ ꯂꯣꯏꯅꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯥꯎꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯆꯠꯂꯤ ꯕꯦꯅꯔ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯄꯥꯏꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯕꯦꯅꯔ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯦ self determination is rights haiba akoi banner kana ma paiduna mayam asi osi akoi makhan makha akoi muslim sinau sing adagi akoi gi tribe sinau sing mayam ma yauraga hojiki rally asi akoi gi makum khaba rally haiba rally ma haibu akoi makum khana oibo phugam dene osi urubisi aduki matik mi sing dam pe akoi umda akoi gi mi si changi phimam lai haiba ꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯆꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯈꯣꯠꯄ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛꯁꯤꯗ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯈꯔꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯀꯞ ꯊꯣꯛꯀꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯒꯗ꯭ꯔꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯐꯝꯗꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯆꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯁꯤꯅ ꯎꯕ ꯐꯪꯉꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯕꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯀꯔꯤꯃꯠꯇ ꯇꯧꯕꯤꯔꯛꯇꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯂꯥꯛꯂꯤꯕ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯄꯣꯠꯁꯥꯎꯅꯕ ꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯒꯗꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯒꯤ ꯐꯤꯕꯝꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯆꯠꯂꯤꯕ ꯈꯣꯡꯆꯠ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯁꯔꯀꯥꯔꯁꯨ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯂꯩꯉꯥꯛꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯈꯔꯗꯤ ꯒ꯭ꯌꯥꯟ ꯇꯥꯕꯤꯔꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯃꯩꯇꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯤꯛ ꯃꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯕꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯆꯤꯛꯅ ꯆꯥꯏꯅꯕ ꯉꯝꯕ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯃꯈꯜ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯀꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯨꯜꯒꯤ ꯁꯥꯇ꯭ꯔꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯇ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯡ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯈꯨꯟ ꯂꯝꯗꯒꯤ ꯂꯥꯛꯄ ꯏꯃꯥ ꯏꯕꯦꯟ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯄꯨꯡ ꯐꯥꯅ ꯁꯧꯒꯠꯄꯒꯤ ꯃꯃꯤꯗꯨꯅꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯇꯥꯔꯤꯕꯁꯦ ꯍꯤꯔꯝ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡꯗ ꯄꯥꯎꯗꯝ ꯂꯩꯕ 79 ELITETV ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨꯁ
ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯗꯗꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯑꯣꯠꯄꯤ ꯅꯩꯕꯤꯔꯕ ꯋꯥꯠꯄꯤꯔꯕ ꯃꯤꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯛ ꯐꯪꯗꯕꯒꯤ ꯁꯣꯟꯗ ꯔꯦꯂꯤ ꯆꯠꯂꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯥ ꯈꯪꯗꯦ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯃꯩ ꯆꯥꯏ ꯃꯤ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯃꯌꯨꯝꯗ ꯇꯨꯝꯕ ꯐꯪꯗꯦ ꯂꯤꯔꯤꯛ ꯀꯦꯝꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯅꯩꯅꯗꯦꯕ ꯁꯤꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯛꯇ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯏꯔꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯃꯔꯛꯇ ꯚꯥꯔꯠꯀꯤ ꯄꯥꯔꯂꯤꯌꯥꯃꯦꯟ ꯊꯦꯡꯒꯥꯡ ꯈꯔꯗ ꯐꯝꯈ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯐꯝꯈꯤꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯏꯔꯥꯡꯒꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯁꯤꯟꯅꯕ ꯈꯟꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯕ ꯄꯣꯂꯤꯇꯤꯀꯦꯜ ꯄꯥꯔꯇꯤꯁꯤꯡꯗꯒꯤ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟ ꯇꯣꯉꯥꯟꯕ NPꯁꯤꯅ ꯄꯨꯈꯠꯂꯁꯨ ꯈꯟꯅꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯊꯧꯔꯥꯡ ꯂꯧꯗꯦ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯨ ꯆꯠꯊꯔꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯨ ꯈꯟꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯋꯥꯐꯝ ꯂꯩꯇꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯁꯣꯝꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯏꯅꯧ ꯅꯧꯅ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯄꯨꯂꯤꯁ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯁꯟ 6ꯅ ꯀꯣꯟꯕ ꯖꯒꯥꯗ ꯑꯃꯨꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯄꯁꯄꯥ ꯊꯝꯖꯤꯜꯂꯛꯑꯦ ꯑꯄꯁꯄꯥ ꯊꯝꯖꯤꯜꯂꯛꯏꯁꯦ ꯀꯔꯤꯒꯤꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏ ꯀꯥꯟꯗ Manipur kai bi yaroi Manipur le pun ma chaktam thuai bi yaroi khun nga kani iram dam da chingna bi yaroi haina khun ngai ba kutta ma kutta kulai pai khan kana khun ngai ba na kya samdra na kya kolom pai ka da like dam ka da toan toan ma thak sak ka da kya nongoi pai li se masi bharat sarkar na pai li ne aduna pai kha chari ba nongoi pai le mare ba ma pur pandana ba nongoi pai je ba si mali mi lo ya mi adum ba pai je ri ba mayam je mo kha na ba ha na ba ma koi ka thak ek ya pan na ba apas pa se mo thamjin bane hana political minus pangnaba bharat sarkar na rajdi khudong ja pangnaba police station drama pan na ko mafam gi apaspas ga thok manipur gi miyam na idi apaspas muthat wai bane muthat wai ban ko pura muthat wai na pra sungna chan lok thok thin chana bi no hai bane ba bharat sarkar na apaspas lok thok thin chana ri manipur da o on tawri ba si bo koi mi si asi chakhona ba yam phane chakhona ba si bi mafam ko di magda mi bi phane khangwa ba matam jira manipur di adugum ba bharat sarkar na apaspas si koi khangde aduga masigi mem dani hana honari aduna koi terrorist ek mayam mo satali tongan ba kangru fruta yumpham moiba khulai paiba kya amam koi madu hulli maduda thajaba kya piri mai oi da ba false promise kya tawri injali aduga koi masen kangru masen khanna honari ba haji kangru masen khanari ba khone ba mayam se government of india gi thoksinni aduna manipur khundane ba kangru khudimangna nuksi janana chakop namdam mama oina hingba ba se kam kanda oigada kya kanda kangru khudimang gi miyoi jingna aikoi common enemy ji kanano hai kanda bharat sarkar ne khangba mikupta oigani ade koi do ji thoiba amana amu thajana hada ba amana amu warong hadi ba mayam se masi bharat sarkar na thon bane ba aduna ngasi koi ne pujari we apaswa muthalo akoi gi self determination is our right haibidi irom dam lekcha ba se akoi gi popgi kinwani akoi gi lenjer pa hakni hai se
au me por pa residi pero no po hono ba fi khum ji thenge ada lama phai ngasi am ko na lit tawdina ngasi gi niam gi khonse bana silli bosi akoi film fraternity film family site so akoi member ni se ni ko hin to ji da ado ai gi imunda ni maru ya tri bom ya ke na akoi la baksi ro hobde chumre li ma ka di ni ji pak sana china chumna kello ko na ba si da hawne ba na ri se Sina dua koi konjungje hana tinggal gidra abe ki simna bala how do you mean it lakta ya de bu kholai mataba masana ai chhau yar dia ba si kaya thokte yaw de aduna koi si pujun ji ni na malari luksina zu lauri akoi yaw ji amana sileso akoi yak apun na pang ni ya bise ado pangan du ma akoi mapun phana amukam so mo to dogadi mapang gilenga manipur gilenga akoi se o pangtok to ri bani ai bigi ni ngam ka le ri masam to mai maklak thada tak ni ba amit samne haubam samne chi haudi dalo na bigi chi ba re ba thapa ka se ga dalo ko khane aji ai double engine ja chi dalo ni thapok ti log de dalo mo thapok to ba ta re अगर कोई फिल्म में सुनना है कैमरा मैन का डायलॉग हर का एक्टिंग तो है बस एक्टर एक्ट्रेस का है शूटिंग करेगा भी मैं की लाइफ तो मौज ले थोड़ी बकवास नहीं चीज है कोई डायलॉग नहीं का अगर तो कोई नहीं मेरे को मतलब मैं नहीं
aina ji gai jari ma ma se ko malam pa ke main stadium da ni nga se se ka international human rights day ko mari le na am ko ko le mro amoba committee on human rights ms na kusam na Manipur gi niam ko ba right asi matti ba amadi na kan ba ati ba thundu kaya ko matunda niam ko ba kulaw kya law ko da central na amadi ina na tabi sa ba ke pin da ba gi kulaw law na mahero angang khatna Orang kalau mereka nak seru kaya dengan segi rally seru kaya ni, orang ni ba mahirui sila, mukoi gipen dah mukoi narik tam ayat depan kaya pilih dan nasi, mukoi orang nasi ayat depan kaya pilih dan gipen dah bagi nasi rally seru kaya orang mukoi ba apa mukoi ba watching tuan watching seru kaya ni, segi rally sila kaya, tuan rally kaya macam nasi human rights day kembali rally nak seru kaya ni. तोान अवोन पुरकनी थाजबलो सेंट्रल फिजिकल मेमोरेंडम पिछनबनी चेरोल पिछनब मेमोरेंडम फिजिकल मेमोरेंडम सेंट्रल ताबी पंथई खमी पंथई हाइबदो अमको के प्रेसिडेंट फैरोजम नंदोलवांग माइकई दिगि फोंदोखिबा लेख्रे अमदि अखोगी मणिपुरदा अफस्पासी लौथोकपा थमजिनबा सानाबगी महुत्ता अफस्पासी लौथोक पिकदबनी हाइबा वाफम अदनी थमनिबसी नौना हंदक नौना थमलक्रिबा अफस्पासीसु लौथोकदबनी हाइबा तोहान खलाव क्या लाउरी अमदि मणिपुर की इंटीग्रिटी असी कायबा यारोय अखोगी येकनबसी कनानो मसक खंगना अखोय पुना खुदसमदना चमिनसी हाइबनी ngasiगी rally aduda ngasiगी khongchat asida lamdam asa leiriba furup masing suna yauri tongan makal gi furup yauri masida kuki jo community khaktamak masigi rally asida saruk yakide aduna akoi miyam gi oiba tongana leiriba akoi indigenous people sing asi leiriba miyam asi अपुन मगे ओइना सागतना ngasiगी rally sa saruk yari basina koi awonba mapurakani haibigi thazabadu thamni amadi miyamna khongjang changsinba matamda koi central engak ta tainaduna khudingmaki hawrakpa masi central engak na tana tasina daba tawriba thong ase koi makoi da tainabam thoi makoi da khongjang asi changsinduna koi hanba leitana irang asi lotion bina ba koi khongjang asi hanba leitana changsin si terrorist singna mitam hata purat la lep padabli aba tuha ba olaw kya lawgna ngasi sigi miyam ge rally sigi mapoi ba pandamni masina masigi rally sina koi awonba ma urakani haibigi azuba thamni pira masigi matangda video journalist loyagaloni na paudum joribi sana hemam elite news Kumalampak.
People of various communities while taking part in today's mass rally have demanded immediate revocation of the draconian law of Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958 from the soil of Manipur.
Samina ba manga hai tai ba hele look MSF yauna manga sina sakile ba licha liba really asi hoji pung baroga minute 53 chale asi phawda ai baleni asi ki malang thang masaru makok thang masaru adudi akogi kumalam ba akogi otho mo kumalam ba asi ki pung amalo yo ba yo ko bedu ai ba asi ki khuya thori india oi pa masida ai ba myo asi la ba lep ta ki mami rin ta re ji masa tongan ba akogi lamdam masida punna le mi ri ba tongan ba tawu fu kya gi do sing ai ba le li si saru la ki mami ma khoi da iduna lagi masida maru oina law ri ba law asi ko kitero singna bicham ya at yaninde Manipur ke apas pa lauthu Manipur masana laingak serge haiba asina khoge maru ba kholaw law na haiba mayam gi mass rally chatna la ke Armed Forces Special Power Act 1958 asi lauthu wa masi kani na mayam na pamna ji lauthu haiba ge haiba gi mata da na khamina bi ja do lo minis
Manipur dang asi Armed Forces Special Power Act khamina se masi akoi strongly condemn kawi maram di kari gi no haiba kanda Armed Forces Special Power Act sida yamna darkuni oiba magi provision me am yawi oraga akoi miyo bi human rights yamna sokuga adwa soku yabi maram si yamna lai example na hala hairaga koi janupi har tare manorama bo hatbada akoi human rights ki thatpa hangan da tawdi me am do madugo modo hanna tawdana akoi Armed Special Power Act lo ko
Moina Manipur da na aga mitam yo minai otpan nei ba lupi anga khatna mathong morong khamdana lupi anga mathong morong na hatopi ba izat mahan bi ba tei mai chong makhoi na Manipur sa chong na khoi Manipur gi apa phata ji khanda bi dana makhoi na yamna akoi gi lupi anga da otpan nei ba taw ba khop pa si ja khoi na pam jada ba satra sati kaya mayam ma so moina phubi ba sai bi ba mara lai ta ba sata jing pha ba aduga akoina sugumna mayam ji khawra mama oi bi akoi gi thamoi jam nungai jada ba poi isa sina ko bang mari kam masiali ngai akoi gi pangan sohal haloi akoi adun le ti kani kongbam chena lemin na si akwai mayam apun mana panggan ni apun mana saktam ni
Power 1958 as a masi asem the draconian law ni akoi ke civilized or democratic or the country mata state mata akoi ke citizens ki mata thamjala pai base yamna akoi ki laibak thebani akoi ke sarkar thamjala le base ya atuba matam da ai apaspa armed forces special power 1950 as repeal to biu aduga akoi terrorism na nupi yangang bisam samjarba mara leisatra kaya ai harpi se ngasi di khudak tagi lephan biu hai base ni aduga akoi Manipur ki saktam Manipur ki apun bagi saktam ase ai karigumba condition amata any condition amata koi compromise to banga moi Manipur ki saktam kai bi yaroi koi maitai panganisin now koi thok jaragli basi so koi yelongoi purup yelongoi purup ama hoina koi yelongoi purup leminari ba purup khudi makse amma to ina nungsi sana na koi punna hana nungsi sana leminar matamna ya apun ba Manipur ama sagat minar se
Armed Forces Special Power Act haiba miyamna tamchi haiba asi kari mata akhoi Manipur tangdu leita dana leiba Manipur sida kari de makta India government na haiba Manipur gi police station tarukta khangudana thamjala libano haiba si miyamna so wahang mo iduna leibani hire masigi matanga video journalist langamgalona paudum jariba paito kosanam elite news khyato.
Meanwhile, during today's mass protest rally, around 10 protesters were injured. However, they all had sustained injuries on account of falling unconscious during the rally. All injured were admitted at Jenims Hospital by Jenims Hospital Authority and Relief Committee, Jenims.
All Manipur United Club organizer, All Manipur Women Voluntary Association, MOVA, Oilemano, Nara Committee of Human Rights, when a Manipur Federation, Sapati, Manipur, Kaibi Yaro, Amadi, International Human Rights Day, when a Sapa Kumsata Duda, Zinja, Jenims, Soga, Anapa, Tara, which the Mahomes like the high Vassi Yapana, Abinate, at the Mopis Sotabulu Natani. We don't know we don't think I go get in a city protest is the model of Jeniski, Kuki Canona administration, Yamazan Matin Pangiba, the Mamaki, Kuki, medical campus in Matin Pangi, Relief Committee Jenina, Kuki Matin Pangi, Hania Letana, Hello Popular.
As observed across the globe, the International Human Rights Day 2024 has also been observed today, the 10th December, by Manipur State Legal Services Authority. Alongside observance of the International Human Rights Day, a one-day sensitization program on constitutional and legal rights of LGBTQ was also held at the conference hall of ADR Building, Lamphel. The event was attended by Manipur State Legal Services Authority Member Secretary Alek Muiva as chief guest, and HRLN Director Rakesh Mahowam spoke on the topic of laws relating to transgender persons in India. A special reference to Manipur. During today's event, Sati Assistant Director Randoni Lairikangbum deliberated on the topic of needs and issues of gender and sexual diverse individuals' experience from LAC for GSM communities. Speaking during today's event, Alek Muiva expressed that for the enforcement of the rights of LGBTQ community, the Parliament and Manipur State Legal Services Authority have been given directions under Suprio Alliance Suprio versus Union of India. He added that despite such laws and directions, there has been cases of discrimination and ill treatment of people belonging to the LGBTQ community in the state. He continued that a sensitization program is being held to enlighten the masses and spread awareness on the issue.
Everyone have the right to choose a partner. Any living relationship, every relationship done in public or in private, they cannot be discriminated. They have the legal right to choose their own partner or their sexual orientation. But right to marriage, as per Special Marriage Act, Section 4, and also Section 4 of Foreigners Marriage Act, it happened only between a male and female. A male who is 21 years old and a female 18 years old. Adugi maram waina masigi eksi leri pau. Same-sex marriage city yaroi. Adugi they can choose to live in with any as per their sexual orientation, but makoi right to marriage aduga marriage ki benefits to the pibu yaroi haida masumaina judgment ta apane. But at the same time, makoi the discrimination si makhan dum lei haina haye.
In view of the observation of the Nubila celebration Numit 2024, the Office of the Superintendent of Police Traffic Control Police Wing has issued guidelines for chains or traffic route. As per notification issued today, the 10th December, it has been notified to the general public that except for vehicles of VVIPs, VIPs and vehicles coming to attend the function, all heavy and commercial vehicles coming from Imphal East towards GPO will be diverted towards Moirangkom. All vehicles coming from Singjamai towards Moirangkom shall be diverted towards Kaisamthong from Moirangkom. The chains in traffic routes shall be in force from 6 a.m. of 12th December till the function is over. The fifth round of political talks with the Government of India and the team of Jalangrong Statehood Demand Committee was held today, the 10th December, at the national capital, New Delhi. A release issued by Jalangrong United Front JUF has stated that there was a mutual sharing of views on the subject matter of Jalangrong political issues underway with the Government of India since the signing of the COO agreement. Exchange of thought was deliberated on defining a solution that can be acceptable for both sides. The release further added that the outcome of today's talk was positive, with closer progress to the final settlement of the long-drawn Jalangrong People Convention political demand that can be translated into present reality based on contemporary political exercise on the principle of democratic process. In a significant crackdown on illegal activities, a joint operation by Manipur Police and the Forest Department led to the destruction of approximately 55 acres of poppy plantations in the hill range of Sihai Kulan village, Ukul district. As part of the operation, 5 makeshift huts found in the poppy fields were also burned down. An FIR has been registered and authorities are working diligently to identify and apprehend those responsible for the illegal cultivation. In parallel, efforts to maintain law and order, security forces conducted search operations and area domination exercises in different and vulnerable areas of both hill and valley districts. The state administration has also ensured the safe movement of vehicles carrying essential commodities along National Highways 37 and 2. As a part of the continuous gender-based violence campaign, today on the 10th December, the 8th such campaign was conducted jointly by the 7 self-help groups formed by women folk from Harinagar, Bidyanagar. A joint executive committee meeting of Ajiri Ima Village Level Federation, Hilghat of Gram Panchayat, Jiribam block was also held today. Carrying out rally and making of a Rangoli and taking oath on gender pledge were the main events of today's campaign. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Mobile furniture na lagliba wedding season asigi anau ba contemporary wedding set furniture sing puduna lakchari loina na Manipur de ihan han ba oina wedding set laibi ba matamda 24 karat ki 5 gram ki gold coin free gift oina bizari mayam lengsin biraktuna mobile furniture ki 3rd edition the great wedding sales gold offer asi pre-booking tobiduna khudong jaba silobi ho
offer asi akupa information khambina bagi damakta sangai product laiba mobile furniture la lengsin biro
Open Day. Know the hospital where your patients will be treated and the institute where your children will get educated for 3 to 4 years to acquire knowledge and skill to get a good job immediately after a course. See the hospital on the 1st and the 3rd Saturday of every month at Sky Hospital from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
Dynamic Student of the Year 2024.
Dynamic Groups of Institution.
Miyam giting banga loinana.
Satliba academic session asidagi hoduna 2025 ta SSLC exam mayok nagadoriba students singi damakta khallaga
NEP 2020 de yumpham oiduna
Bosem gi syllabus amadi skill based co-curricular activities
jagoi isai storytelling poetry writing skills extempore amadi subject model explanation na chingbagi live performance ka
50-50 mark oigani
makok thonglaba nupa nupi mahiroida shilaibi amadi shilaiba haina mintolaga loinana
Dynamic Student of the Year 2024
Mangal naiba hayengi damak mating leiba ngasigi naharol sing
Kawiraganu Dynamic Student of the Year 2024 lakadoriba December gi tarik 19 2024 asida pangthoklagani
Welcome back. You're watching ELITETV English News. Former Minister Okram Joy has expressed that destruction of a land and nation can only be done by the ruling government. The statement was made today, the 10th December, during observance of International Human Rights Day at the residence of ex-MLA R.K. Anand of Nauria Pakhanglakpa Assembly constituency. The observation was held on the theme of Our Rights, Our Future, Right Now, being organized by the Nauria Pakhanglakpa AC Coordinating Committee. The event was attended by ex-MLA R.K. Anand, Manipur University's Law Department HOD Professor Y. Premananda and Physics Department Professor N.G. Nimai, besides other dignitaries. Speaking further during today's event, former Minister Okram Joy stated that the underlying meaning and concept of observing the International Human Rights Day is totally opposite in Manipur as compared to the rest of the world. The international human rights which are being granted globally to all human beings are mostly deprived to the people in the state of Manipur. He highlighted that by observing this year's International Human Rights Day, we have to see whether the rest of the world will acknowledge the gross human rights violations which is happening in the state Manipur. He added that the current crisis in the state, which is nearing completion of 2 years, is now aiming at ethnical cleansing of entire Meitei community from the face of the earth. He stressed that in such a situation, the inability of the state and central government to say a word or take up any action to save the lives of the innocent only shows that this government is the weakest government which the people have seen.
British Sarkar na sumimba Armed Forces Special Power Act so the Indian Parliament na simbiwa Armed Forces Special Power Act ani si kena ba kaino hakan karim sende koma bo kerate only difference is section 4 do now madam the British semamba ising jamapan nifuni toida sayam na pandu kana semamba law do mari the p section 4 do madadi akoy na kari haige bo shoot aside haina section 4 da amina mi ka paga hape abagi authority je akoy na samna shoot aside haire eta uruga ka pa yabagi power je not less than the rank of a captain higher. This is happen if we do it the captain number the beer. Captain number I am Jawre, who is either saying Harakana Manipur, the captain Hania and Malay Mel, Captain Duna Manipungakaniga and the Legate and that the beer. In their law, the non commissioned officer Jamanda Savidaram the beer.
While speaking during today's event, ex-MLA RK Anand expressed that there is no human rights in the state of Manipur and added that there is also no rule of law in the state. He added that the prolonged silence and inaction of the state government against the current crisis, which is nearing completion of 2 years, is nothing but an attempt to annihilate and wipe out the Meitei community. He continued that if the political leaders of the state had the sense of patriotic feeling, then we would not have witnessed such crises and hardships which we are witnessing today. He added that the chief minister who is unable to save his own people and the prime minister who is unable to regard Manipur as a part of India must but be replaced to save the future of Manipur.
मागी मथौ से पांथोक प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने सुमुत उलक्त्रबनिना अतै तैना इलेक्शन को में याम चले फॉरेन टूर याम तवे पैसा याम स्पेंड तवे इलेक्शन की हाई तारे मोई अदु मचाम चा इलेक्शन बाय इलेक्शन को के इलेक्शन हाई तारे अदु ने थवाई याम लोपी अखोई की पृथ्वी द हाईएस्ट फॉर्म द कंडेम तवे हीनस क्राइम्स नाइ मयाम अमा मिचम अदुसु रिलीफ कैंप ते फार पुर काना मोई सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस गाकने ले मैम जो कहीं तो महुद्र काना कहीं तो महुद्र काना याद तमसी लोग ना के मैम से प्राइम मिनिस्टर स्टिल मा कहीं तो खंग दम तो ले रही है कहाँ बढ़िया है is not doing anything मा कहीं तो दे करी नो इधर कहीं वक्त तो उतार दिखा से कहीं तो सूद तो रे यार बिन बहुत तो मैं करो भी पनिशमेंट तो दी अको इधर के सुनते तो वो ये आराम बाई की नहीं ना है वो सिन नाउ सिन है तारे मुझे आराम से लेना सोए भी से लेना दी याई को हे लाली लादी का इधर कमेंट तो जरूर है तो मासी मजादी मुसीबत तो धमक कर तो भी नोई पाई रूबर पाई तो रे खंडे उदे मैं हम सिंसिकी थवाई याव भी दम तो लेवा की दम तो कहीं वो कर तो रिस तो कोई सुखांगे अब तो माई मत तो दे ना ये केस में हम तो भी खोल लेना
An emergency consultative meeting of Rongmei Naga People's Organization was held on the 9th December at Longsai Jingkau Kaigawang Village, Noni District, Manipur, wherein the meeting unanimously adopted the framework agreement of 3 August 2015 signed between the GOI and NSCN representing Naga people and has urged the government of India to implement the FA in letter and spirit at the earliest. The meeting has appealed to all concerned not to misunderstand the democratic aspiration of the Jelangrong people struggling for their solidarity, which dates back to pre-1947. It is also pertinent to note that violence in any struggle is thought to be perilous to all concerned. Therefore, its concern should shun violence under any circumstances in larger public interest, and also appeal to all concerned to make Rongmei territory violence-free in larger public interest and urge to resolve any difference through dialogue. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma expressed his deep concern over the ongoing persecution of Hindus in Bangladesh, calling for greater awareness about the dangers of religious extremism. Taking to his official X handle, Sarma stated, "What is happening to Hindus in Bangladesh should alert all of us. We cannot be safe in a society whose foundation is based on fundamentalism. India is the best example of secularism." Addressing the media, the Chief Minister further elaborated on the issue, saying, "The ongoing atrocities have deeply pained us. Witnessing the ruthless persecution of the minority Hindu community in an Islamic nation has opened our eyes. Earlier, such atrocities happened in Pakistan and now in Bangladesh. This proves that countries established on the basis of religious extremism or where people act in extreme ways in the name of religion cannot ensure the safety of the minority communities. Today, India has set a remarkable example of secularism. I hope countries like Pakistan learn from India." The statement underscores Sarma's call for vigilance against religious fundamentalism while emphasizing India's commitment to secularism and the protection of minority rights. Earlier this month, viral videos featuring retired Bangladeshi army personnel claiming that the soldiers can capture Assam and Kolkata within 4 days have surfaced on social media. Congress leader and MP Gaurav Gogoi has alleged that the Bharatiya Janata Party is deliberately stalling parliamentary proceedings to avoid discussions on key issues. Earlier on December 9, Gaurav Gogoi accused the Bharatiya Janata Party of derailing the Indian Parliament following several incidents involving BJP MP Nisikant Dubey. Dubey, during the Lok Sabha proceedings, accused the Congress of being in league with US-based billionaire investor George Soros to derail India's success story under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Taking to his official X handle, Gogoi stated that the Congress party had repeatedly submitted letters to the Speaker urging the initiation of privileged proceedings against Dubey, but to no avail. He further claimed that all their pleas had been ignored, allowing the BJP MP to continue with his controversial remarks. He said, "Yet all our pleas have been ignored and the BJP MP is allowed to continue with his runs. Even today, his name is listed." Gogoi pointed out, emphasizing that the BJP's actions were aimed at disrupting the functioning of Parliament. The incoming Donald Trump administration has appointed Harmeet K. Dillon as the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights. Ms. Dillon is the fourth Indian origin to be nominated in the Trump 2.0 cabinet. The appointment acquires importance from the India point of view, as the Biden administration had accused India of planning to assassinate pro-Khalistan activist Gurpatwan Singh Panan, a U.S. citizen on American soil. Ms. Dillon has been vocal about human rights and acquired prominence during the 2020-21 farmers' protests when she criticized the police crackdown against protesting farmers in Singhu and Ghazipur borders near Delhi. New Delhi wants to increase engagement with Bangladesh's interim government and make joint and concerted efforts to boost relationships between the two neighbors, visiting Indian Foreign Secretary Bikram Misri informed. Misri called on Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus at the State Guest House Jamuna in Dhaka. During their interaction, he said there is no second thought about increasing engagement. "We see this as beneficial for both countries. We want to carry on from where we left off," Misri said as they discussed issues of mutual interest. During the 40-minute-long meeting, the issues of minorities' misinformation campaigns, ousted dictator Sheikh Hasina's stay in India, regional cooperation and the July-August mass uprising were discussed. Professor Yunus described relationships between Bangladesh and India as very solid and close. He asked India to help clear the clouds that have cast a shadow over the relationship between the two neighbors in recent times. He raised the issue of the ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who fled to India on August 5 after 15 years of brutal and corrupt dictatorship. Professor Yunus called for close bilateral cooperation in floods and water management, urged India to join in his initiative to revive SAARC. For ELITETV News Channel, contact to the email address info@elitetv.in or 940-2890982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow on Facebook page, Instagram and X for more information about the channel. Before we wind up, let's have a look at the top headlines once again. Mass protests against UPSPA held in Imphal on International Human Rights Day. Several thousands from all communities in the state participate. International Human Rights Day observed in the state. Fifth rounds of talks between Government of India and JETUF held in the national capital today. Manipur authorities destroy 55 acres of poppy plantations in Ukrul, 5 makeshift huts destroyed. That's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in and keep watching ELITETV English News for more updates. Thank you and have a good night.